Previously on Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations.
That Iris is Mystic Morgan's daughter. Wait, what? She has 2 daughters? Mystic Morgan had 3 daughters, not 2. Excuse me! Oh, Dahlia Hawthorne! As soon as you hear the lights out bell, you must channel her spirit. Leave everything up to her. Did Iris channel Dahlia's spirit? That's a sword inside the staff. Could it be the murder weapon? On the night of the incident, you were seen in 2 different places at the same time, which means there must have been 2 of you. So she never managed to channel the spirit. Oh! Someone else was already channeling her. Maybe. Hello, I'm Unca Crunk. Welcome back to Phoenix Wright, and we're back playing as Phoenix Wright again. Good morning. Oh, are you by yourself? Morning, Pearls. Mr. Nick, please tell me, what's going to happen to Mystic Maya? I'm sorry. We don't know yet. The investigation is still going on, so I wasn't allowed into the inner temple. Oh, I see. So, is Sister Iris still trying to remove those trick clocks in the training hall? No, she's the defendant in this case, so she can't be at the inner temple. She's required to be here in court. Then how come she's not here in the defendant's lobby? I have to admit, it is kind of strange. If you're looking for Iris, she's in the prosecutor's lobby. Oh, Edgeworth. I thought that was Godot. Edgeworth! What's Iris doing over there? She's going over today's testimony with the prosecutor as we speak. Today's testimony? You heard me. Iris is going to be testifying as a witness for the prosecution. Wait, what? The prosecutor is squeezing her for a confession. Or so I heard. Franziska von Karma, what are you up to? I know what you're thinking, but Franziska isn't going to be the prosecutor today. Oh, do I? Then who is? Well, Godot, obviously. Who else would it be but Godot? Godot? Franziska's engaged with some important work at the Sacred Cavern. The Sacred Cavern? You don't mean that she's... Exactly. She has been out there all night trying to remove those trick locks. With the head nun's assistance, naturally. We estimate that the last of the locks should be taken care of in about 3 hours. I hope everything continues to go smoothly and we receive some good news soon. Yeah, thanks, Edgeworth. Prosecutor Godot intends to nail this case shut today. Be prepared to fight like there's no tomorrow. You don't have to tell me that. Touche. I can already see it in your eyes. Your beautiful, beautiful eyes. Wait, what'd you say? Never mind. You're not the same fever-ridden, frantic maniac you were yesterday. Yeah, strange. On the way here, I decided that today would be the end of all this. Almost immediately after I made that decision, I felt myself getting stronger. Interesting. Maybe you've passed your cold on to someone else. Literally. And with that, I leave the rest in your capable hands. Partner. He called me partner. Thanks. He still made a little fuzzy little heart. I still don't have answers for the most of the riddles plaguing this case. The circumstances around the murder of Ms. Elise Denham, Ms. Misty Fay, the impossible flight Larry claims to have seen, and what that woman is really after. I will solve them all and bring this whole tragedy to an end. February 10th, 10 a.m. District Court Courtroom number 7. Oh, the regular judge is back.
Court is now in session for the trial of Iris of Hazakura Temple.
Your Honor? What are you...
Who, me? Well, my little brother came to visit me in my chambers earlier this morning. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, he developed a scorching fever and fainted.
Wait. You're related?
Therefore, I'll be standing in for him.
I see, Your Honor. So they're brothers. That explains a lot and leaves out a lot more. How is one of them Canadian, but the other one isn't?
My poor brother. He looked a bit pale, not to mention sad that he couldn't be here.
It is impossible to predict what the future has in store for any of us. This is precisely why people feel the need to judge the past. And we of the court have been charged with the solemn duty of passing such judgment.
Well said, Mr. Godot. I understood exactly what you said. At least up until the end, anyway. Now then, Mr. Godot, please proceed with your opening statement.
Humans are fragile, fickle beings. Our hearts change with the shifting of the tides. There's only one thing that remains a constant in this crazy world. The bitter darkness that lies at the bottom of this mug.
So, then you mean, forget it. Wait, okay, I'm gonna try it again. What do you mean?
During yesterday's trial, the accused refused to admit to her role in the crime. But today, she has had a change of heart. Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple has a confession to make.
Confession? The defendant?
Iris! Why didn't she discuss this with me first?
Very well. This court will now hear the defendant's confession.
Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules.
My name is Iris. I am but a simple nun undergoing training at Hazakura Temple.
Witness, is there something that you want to confess to?
Yes, but first, I want to apologize to Mr. Wright. I can't continue lying to everyone anymore.
Yes, all right. What is it?
Mr. Wright, I have to admit that I did play a part in this terrible incident.
Are you actually confessing? Are you saying that you were the one who murdered Ms. Elise Denham?
No, I'm not, Your Honor. But I dealt with the cover-up after the murder took place. After her spirit left, I took the lifeless shell of Mystic Elise and carried it to the Hazakura Temple courtyard where I desecrated it.
What?
The hell is going on?
Order in the court! Order! Witness, are you saying you were an accomplice to the murder?
Yes, that is correct.
What?
What? 3 minutes in court, and I'm already covered in a cold sweat.
Huh. Everyone on the planet is an accomplice to something. It just happens to be that in this case, it's the murder. Isn't that right, Mr. Trite?
That Godot. So this is the confession they were conferring about. It pains me to say this, but it looks like Iris's testimony was all a lie. Iris's testimony crumpled up and shoved into a pocket.
Now then, little lady, if you don't mind, I got a question for you. Whose crime were you trying to cover up by your actions?
Iris was covering up for someone? Oh no. I'm definitely up the creek without a paddle, or a life jacket, or boat. I've been at Hasakura Temple ever since I was a little girl. Hasakura Temple is run by one of the branch families of the Korean tradition. One of our missions is to protect the main family.
I'm sorry, but main family?
Yes, and that's why I would dirty myself, if need be, to protect her. Damn it. The daughter of the master of the Korean channeling technique, Mystic Maya Fey. I knew this was going this way.
Wake up and smell the coffee, Trite.
She's naming Maya!
Order! Order in the court! So not only did you witness the murder, you know the name of the murderer!
I'm terribly sorry, but it's true. I saw her commit the crime with my very own eyes. And then I cleaned up the area to try to protect her. That's ridiculous! Maya could never do...
The defense will refrain from commenting until the appropriate time. Now, witness, let's hear your testimony. What exactly happened on the night of the crime?
Yes, Your Honor. I thought I was prepared for the unexpected. I never imagined the case would wind up going in this direction. I did. However, since it is going in this direction, I think I can pretty honestly say that there's no possible way that Maya is actually the murderer. Iris might be. Well, okay. Clearly it's still, what's her name? Dahlia Hawthorne, who did the actual deed, but she used somebody's body, and I'm thinking it's probably Iris's. Damn it. The real murderer. I went to the inner temple that night, and I saw it all happen in the garden. I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff. While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it. Oh. Wait a minute. Why would her own mother try to kill her?
So, it was in self-defense?
Yes. Mystic Elise was the one who attacked first. That's why I tried my best to protect Mystic Maya.
You moved the victim's body to the temple so that Maya wouldn't be suspected. Isn't that right? Not bad. You've got the instincts of a true criminal.
Something's not quite right. I'm sure it was established yesterday that Iris never went to the inner temple that night. And that the person who did go was that woman.
Iris even admitted it.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination.
Wait a minute, that woman? Oh God, it's been a few days. Is he talking about Dahlia? Okay, yeah, let's just press on everything. I went to the inner temple that night and I saw it all happen in the garden.
Sister Iris, your testimony has changed quite a bit since yesterday. You stated yesterday that on the night of the murder, you didn't go to the inner temple.
Objection!
Did she now? Too bad for you. What she said yesterday don't mean much today. By the way, where were you when she claimed that she didn't go? It was in the Inner Temple's training hall. A private conversation between the two of you does not constitute testimony. That would be properly described as hearsay. You hear? Miss A? Miss hearsay? Could you please stop? No, fine.
What do you have to say, witness?
I just couldn't tell him the truth at that time. Mystic Maya, she's your girlfriend, isn't she? No! Why does people...
Yeah, Pearl! Did you tell her that?
I didn't want to be the one. I didn't want to be the one to break it to you that I saw her commit murder.
There. We all understand how difficult this is for you. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. What did you witness in the temple garden?
Well, Your Honor, I saw Mystic Elise strike Mystic Maya with her staff.
You're saying that the victim attacked Maya? I mean, Miss Faye?
Yes, it was a truly frightening scene. Mystic Maya was struck hard on the head and looked like she was going to collapse.
What were you doing at the time? Why didn't you stop them from fighting?
I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright, but I'm a very small person, and Mystic Elise is very, very, very big and well, very tall, and I was scared. I was frightened. I couldn't move. I couldn't even speak. I was in such shock. I'm just a nun, for Christ's sake.
That's perfectly understandable, my dear.
That doesn't sound right. I don't believe this testimony for a minute.
What happened after that?
While Mystic Maya was still stumbling, Mystic Elise moved in to deliver a fatal strike.
She moved in to deliver a fatal strike.
Yes, I'm sure of it. She threw down her staff and reached into her robe for a weapon.
Wait a minute. What was this weapon?
It was some kind of dagger.
Her staff is a sword king. Dagger, huh? And Elise Denham tried to stab her with this weapon? To kill Ms. Faye? Her own flippin' daughter?
Yes, exactly.
Huh. You look like I did after I mistakenly took a swig of Worcestershire sauce.
Jeez.
You have a problem with the testimony we're hearing from your client, lawyer boy?
I have a problem with Iris's testimony.
Yeah, there's one thing. Your Honor, I have a small problem with the witness's testimony.
You do? But this witness is your own client.
Yes, well, nevertheless, that's fine. Witness, let's add your last statement to the testimony.
Yes, sir.
Hey, just a moment. It's my job to say that.
Listen, Gramps, I won't say it again. Final judgment will be rendered by me. Okay, now, let's continue.
She threw her staff away and pulled a dagger from inside her robe.
She threw her staff away.
Mystic Elise was trying to kill Mystic Maya. I think that's why she wanted a more lethal weapon.
It's true. It's not easy to inflict a deadly blow with a staff.
Sister Iris, let me make sure I've got this straight. The victim herself chose to throw away her staff.
Yes, that's what I saw.
Is there anything odd about that, Mr. Wright?
Yeah, it's odd, all right.
Mystic Elise attacked Mystic Maya with the dagger. I'm sure of this. Mystic Maya tried desperately to defend herself and stole the weapon.
And then?
Mystic Maya, she turned things around and then she used the weapon she had taken and lunged forward for a strike.
Witness, are you absolutely certain?
Yes, but believe me, she had no choice. If Mystic Maya hadn't done something...
Maya's name would be written on this autopsy report instead.
Yes, I see.
Yes, that's bad. I still can't put the pieces together. Unless I find a contradiction in her testimony, Maya's gonna get blamed for this.
I only have this to say. It was only in self-defense. You can't blame her for it.
So, you're saying Maya Fey was the one who stabbed Ms. Elise Denham? Sister Iris, is that really what you saw?
Yes.
Objection!
Tisk, 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 try. If your mug is filled with black and bitter suspicions, the only way to get rid of them is to drink them down quick. Like this. I know that's supposed to be a metaphor, but I don't get it. There's only one thing you need to get tracked. It's called evidence. Now hurry up, before my next cup gets cold. What does that mean? Is Godot waiting for me to point out the contradictions? I'd like to avoid the whole spirit channeling thing if I can. Not only would it be inadmissible as evidence, but I think it might actually hurt our standing with the judge. First, I need to pick apart her testimony and expose the unnatural sounding parts. I don't know why Iris would tell a story like this, but there are two things I noticed that just don't add up. Okay, one is the weapon. Also, Elise Denham's blood was on the amethyst that was topping her staff. Oh, wait. Okay, so... Okay, victim's staff has a sword hidden inside. Sister Iris, there's something strange about your version of events.
Huh?
Ms. Denham throwing her staff away makes no sense at all to me.
But all you can do with a staff is hit someone.
Naturally, you wouldn't know this, Sister Iris, but the victim's staff had a special feature about it. As you can see, it's a sword. If Elise Denham really had wanted to kill Maya Fey, she wouldn't have needed to use a separate dagger. Not when she already had a beautiful blade in her hands already. Well, Sister Iris, what do you have to say?
Yeah,
What? That was an impressive bit of investigating, Trat. I never would have thought there was a sword in that staff. But even so, how should I put this? A long sword is unwieldy, and thus quite ineffective in close quarters combat. Maybe that's why she chose a dagger over her blade.
well, I mean...
Anyway, the type of weapon she chose to use isn't what's important. The important thing is that she tried to kill Maya Fey. As long as there's nothing strange about that, there's no problem with the testimony, now is there?
Damn it. But there is something strange about this whole damn testimony.
Well, Mr. Wright, the prosecution has a point.
Very well, Your Honor. The defense will now present evidence to back its argument.
Mr. Wright,
I have here another piece of evidence that shows that this testimony can't be trusted. Because Ms. Elise Denham would never attempt to take the life of Maya Fey. Oh, we're going to bring up the fact that, she's her mother. There we go. Elise Denham would never have attacked Maya Fey.
how can you be so sure?
Because the victim's real name was not Elise Denham. Her real name was Misty Fey.
Fey?
No! Not Mystic Misty Fey!
Who is this Misty Fey? Is she related to...
Misty Fey is the master of the Korean channeling technique. She is also the mother of Maya Fey.
Are you serious?
Is it really true? Mr. Wright, was Elise Denham actually the great Mystic Misty?
There's no doubt about it. It looks like Iris had no idea.
I can hardly believe it.
The idea that she would try to kill her only daughter, one that she had not seen in 17 years. Perhaps the prosecution can offer some explanation for why she would do such a thing.
Order of the court. Upon first hearing the witness's testimony, it seemed natural enough. However, in light of some facts that have just been presented, one, that the victim supposedly threw away a sword during a fight, and two, that the two people battling to the death were mother and daughter, despite the facts being believable when taken on their own. When taken together, the entire story seems difficult to believe.
Listen, there's nothing in this world that's impossible. Except for one little thing.
Yes? What's this one little impossible thing?
You still don't get it. You think maybe my beans are under roasted, but you have no idea, Gramps. Could you get to your point? I heard this witness's confession this morning. just as I had taken the first sip of my 8th cup of morning coffee.
You're going to ruin your health, my friend.
Anyway, after hearing this woman's confession, I had a detective who loves to investigate sent to the scene of the crime. And he discovered this little beauty. Damn and blast. I'll bet that's the victim's blood, isn't it?
Is that the dagger the witness testified to seeing?
Obviously, Your Honor. But do you not notice something else?
Now that you mention it, if you look closely, there appears to be blood on it.
Where did you find that? I didn't see that when I investigated the crime scene. Did you investigate the pine tree at the crime scene? So what now? This dagger was stuck in the backside of that pine tree. When the last blow was struck, ending the violent battle between the two women, this little baby was thrown in the direction of the back of that pine tree.
Which means the blood on this dagger belongs to the victim, correct?
Ha! Were you even listening, old man? I first heard this confession this morning, just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of coffee. Wait a minute, what? Just as I had taken the first sip of my 13th cup of morning coffee. You just contradicted yourself. You just said it was your 8th. I didn't have enough time to get the blood analyzed on such short notice. Ooh. It might be Maya's blood.
In any case, the court will accept the dagger as evidence. Furthermore, I order that a blood test be performed on it immediately.
This is my sweetheart. Make sure you treat her right.
Bailiff, get this piece of evidence to the crime lab for testing immediately.
Found behind a tree in the inner temple garden. The blood's being analyzed now.
Now then, the testimony we've just heard had numerous unbelievable aspects to it. However, after having found the very dagger the witness spoke of, I believe we can consider her testimony to be credible.
Cute girls never lie. Ever. You want to bet?
In any case, witness, if you could please testify again to this court.
About what, Your Honor?
About the incident you saw, the battle between the two women.
Yes, Your Honor. The battle. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff. But then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon. Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive with her back to the stone lantern. That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise. Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed.
So dramatic.
That was a very heartbreaking story, and very well told.
Thank you, Your Honor. I've been taking a correspondence course in dramatic reading.
It shows.
Thank you. I don't know if there were any bad feelings between them, but it had been 17 years since Mystic Misty's disappearance. Perhaps they simply didn't recognize each other anymore.
That seems reasonable. Now then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your cross-examination.
Okay. Maya probably would have recognized her from the wall scroll, and Misty probably knew her name because of the nun. No, wait, the nun didn't know. Okay, I don't know.
Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff.
Iris, where were you standing when you witnessed all this?
What do you mean?
I mean, you were standing somewhere on this planet. Where was that?
Oh,
Well, if either of them had noticed you, they might not have continued their battle.
I wonder if that's true. The two of them, they were standing near the garden stone lantern. I was watching the whole thing from behind. It was dark where the two of them were, so I think that's why they didn't see me.
So it was dark in the garden when the murder took place. Tell me, what did Ms. Maya Fey do after she was struck?
And then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon.
What happened to the victim's staff then?
I'm not sure. The area was very dark, so I really couldn't see. I think it got knocked away somewhere as the fight escalated.
That makes sense. That would explain the need for the dagger.
Mystic Elise raised the dagger to strike, but Mystic Maya dodged it at the last second. The dagger struck the lantern and fell to the ground. And then at some point, Mystic Maya picked it up.
Nothing sounds especially strange yet.
What did the victim do when the weapon was stolen from her?
Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive with her back to the stone lantern.
You're saying that Maya Fey turned the tables on the victim?
Yes. But Mystic Maya wasn't herself at the time. After all, her life was in danger.
Yeah, I still can't believe it. The idea of Maya cornering someone at knife point, it's just silly.
As they say, a cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal.
I believe the correct description of a cornered fox is scared and petrified.
The animal analogies have grown tiresome.
You were the one who started it.
Anywho. So, after Maya Fey backed the victim into the stone lantern, what happened next?
That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise.
Are you absolutely certain that's what you saw?
Yes, I'm almost certain.
Almost.
The garden was dark. I couldn't really tell who was who.
What did she just say? So, in other words, it could have been someone else entirely.
Objection! We know that Maya Fey was at the inner temple that night, and that the woman that was killed was Elise Denham. Isn't it fairly obvious who attacked who?
Nah. I don't have anything to counter that yet.
Well then, witness, please continue with your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. The two of them faced each other for a moment. Then Mystic Maya rushed straight into Mystic Elise. And Mystic Elise doubled over and fell to the ground.
So she was stabbed in the stomach, huh?
Yes.
I don't think that's right.
Mystic Elise managed to fling the knife away, but then she collapsed.
Oh, I meant to press on that. Seems like a reasonable story at first. But there's one thing that is completely impossible. The very idea of Maya. Her. Look at that face. The idea of her stabbing someone. That alone is impossible, which means this faulty testimony must contain another contradiction in it somewhere. All right. Let's see. Is the autopsy report going to help me out here? Yeah, stab in the back. Something about you just isn't right today, Iris. You should have a Snickers. You're not yourself when you're hungry.
Huh?
Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions.
What do you mean? What's so wrong about my testimony?
According to you, Maya Fey stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone lantern, correct?
Yes, that's right.
But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right?
Yes, I think so.
But according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back. They're probably going to counter this with the crime being covered up with a second stab wound. This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
It's simple. People are like books. We've all got a front and a back. You got my drift?
No. Is that all you have to say?
I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind.
Could you please knock it off with that cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already?
The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make any sense. Throwing away a useful staff, the people fighting being mother and daughter, and now she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach.
There certainly are some inconsistencies.
Well, Iris, how about it?
Well, it's just...
If you ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing. What do you mean? There are 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee. But to pick out each one requires total concentration and the use of all the senses. Were you really concentrating on what this witness actually said?
Prosecutor Godot, explain yourself.
The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. Now, a human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light.
Light.
By the way, did you know? Sakura has a rule that on nights when an acolyte is at the inner temple training, a stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit. I did wonder what that stone lantern was there for.
Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly?
Normally, yes, Your Honor, but according to the head nun, Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light the stone lantern. Impossible? It hadn't been used in a long time and the wick was no good. In other words, it had to have been nearly pitch black in the garden that night. There could have been a faint light coming from the training hall. That's all.
Most enlightening. Or darkening, I suppose.
Yes, that illuminating fact has chased all the contradictions away. If the staff was dropped, it'd be difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. We can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, Tract?
No. No.
Order, order, order! Here, Your Honor. Let me present the stone lantern into evidence. Maybe it will rekindle the flame of truth in your mind. Tough was not lit the night of the crime. Why is the judge just sitting there with that look on his face? What's wrong, Your Honor? Was that flame a bit too hot?
This lantern. There's something written on it.
Yeah, I know.
Why? It's written in blood.
Oh, boy. So the judge didn't know about that yet. Written in blood? He can't see the color red.
It says Maya upside down.
That has to spell something else, and I'm just not seeing it. What the? Oh, yes, that's right. After being cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic at least didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing that on the stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was draining out of her body.
It certainly looks that way.
Objection!
Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about?
What do you mean? What are we all talking about?
We're talking about the message written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. Could it be? He can't see the bloody writing at all? Now that I think about it, he did say something to me yesterday. My eyesight's pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything. So that's what he meant by that.
In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. Well, Mr. Godot, anything further? Mr. Godot?
Okay then, let's move on. Godot is literally shaking, and somehow I don't think it's from caffeine overdose.
I believe it has now been established that Ms. Denham was killed by Maya Fey.
That's just wrong. Now it's time to turn our attention to you. Yes, sir. After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears. Sister Iris's cover-up. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition.
So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and... I used the Shishishito to alter the way the wound looked.
So, you moved the body.
Yes, I was raised at Hazakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fae clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise Denham was actually Misty Fae. I've committed a terrible sin.
A terrible trick of fate.
I believe you're looking for twist of fate, Your Honor. I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body, but...
You were spotted by the head nun, correct?
Yes, and that's why I couldn't go back.
Your story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay, obviously we're going to press on everything first. After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. So you waited until everything was over before making a move? No, it's not like that.
Objection!
She saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes. It's not surprising that she was a little timid. Yes, I suppose that's true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless that I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion.
Isn't it your job as the judge to mediate the argument?
It wasn't until Mystic Maya saw me that it finally dawned on her what she had done. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition. So then, you knew? You knew the significance of the name Maya Fey? Yes, of course I did. That's odd. I mean, Sister Bikini didn't recognize Maya's name, let alone her position. Anyway, she was a very special person indeed. So I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. Why did you do that? Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected in any way. Obviously. I thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene.
You moved her body all by yourself?
Yes, I did. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for the snow. The snow, huh? I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge. It's pretty amazing you can make it all the way across. That's a rickety old bridge. It looks worse than it is. It's surprisingly sturdy despite its age.
It's like they say, idiots are too stupid to catch even a simple cold.
But there's one other thing that bothers me. Why not just throw the body into the Eagle River? It would have been much easier than dragging it all the way to Hazakura Temple. I thought it would still cast too much suspicion on Mystic Maya. That's why I tried to take the body as far away as possible.
Makes perfect sense to me. For the time being. Anyway, what did you do after you crossed the bridge?
Then I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and...
The snowmobile? I knew that would show up sooner or later.
Yes, I had the key. I used the snowmobile to travel from Hasakura Temple to Dusky Bridge.
This is the part that was in question the other day. Should I ask for more details?
Of course!
Oh, wait. About the tracks? If you really did move her body by snowmobile, then there should be tracks left in the snow, right?
Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks.
This picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are these the tracks from that ride?
Yes, I think they are.
But I can only see one set of tracks here.
I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was still falling when I left Hasakura Temple.
No, it wasn't.
I see, snow was still falling, huh?
And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped.
Oh, okay, I got it backwards.
That's why there are still such fresh-looking tracks.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony?
That's very important. When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. Hang on. And 7 to 10:50. Lightning at 10:45. Okay, there are several problems with this statement. There's no damn way she could have done any of that. Just from the weather. Yeah, that doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. Your Honor, I'd like the statement Iris just made added to the testimony.
But does it have something to do with the case?
All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added to the record. Ha! This should be fun. Let's get this snow business cleared up, shall we?
Yes, sir. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped.
Oh! Ah! I meant to hit the percent button. Oh well, there have been a lot of contradictions in your testimony so far. This time, are you sure it's all true?
Yes, I am.
When the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. According to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks were so clear.
That's right. I'm certain of it.
I think I've trapped her this time.
I see how you think.
Snow, huh?
What's going on here?
If the snow really had stopped by the time of the murder, it'd mean there's a bigger hole in her story than that movie, The Grid Revelations. What? Ha! Well then, Mr. Track, perhaps you'd like to share your theory with us? Let's see what's up your sleeve, or rather, at the end of your index finger.
Me?
I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. But why would she want to do that? It's only one reason I can think of. All right. Oh, right. We're back at the beginning. Okay, first of all, the bridge should have been on fire by that point. but I think that this is where I should present the weather data.
Your Honor!
Oh, crap. That statement contradicts this evidence. No, it doesn't. Blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Okay. I did it at the wrong statement, I guess.
Damn it.
Well, carp. Okay, I guess I presented here because the bridge was on fire by then. Oh, there it is. You claim that the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. I'm sorry, Iris. That just is impossible. Dude. I presented the weather data because she claimed that the snow had stopped. But I got penalized for that. So I present the weather data to prove that the bridge was on fire when she walked across it.
And then he talks about the snow stopping before the... Ah!
What? This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50 p.m. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at that time.
Why do you say that?
Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught on fire. Ow. Okay.
What do you say? The bridge? It was on fire?
You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? It is because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down.
What? But it can't be.
It looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of our real defense attorney.
No!
Order! Order! Order!
The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, the inner temple was already cut off from the outside world. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body.
Witness, even my patience has its limits. Any further lying and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Old man.
Me? How dare you?
Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now.
Squat?
The important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right?
Well, yes, of course, but
Whether it's snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not burning, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise Denham was discovered in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. And second, the head nun, Sister Bikini, witnessed Iris desecrating Elise Denham's body.
He makes a good point on both accounts. That's right. I'm not lying.
What are you claiming this time?
I wasn't myself at all that night. So my memory is still somewhat hazy.
Oh. There it is.
Okay, I've been worried. I've been bugged by this the entire episode, but is this actually Dahlia? Did Iris channel Dahlia and Dahlia just refused to let go? Or is Iris doing this intentionally? You have stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy?
Objection!
It's only human to err. If you're so perfect, right, maybe you can explain this for the court.
Not easily, no. I mean, maybe if Pearl came down here and channeled Mia right in front of everybody. Wait, what is it?
When the murder happened, the bridge had already burnt down. But somehow the body traveled across that bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick?
Ow. Well, not exactly, no. I know there must be some other way she got across that burnt out bridge. But unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth.
It looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation.
See what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this latest testimony isn't the truth.
All right then, witness, let's hear your testimony once more.
About what, Your Honor?
You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. Will this be your final testimony? Moving the body. In the next episode, to the outro. So, I'm thinking that she channeled Dahlia and Dahlia just refused to give up control. Although, there are some things that don't quite fit, if that's the case. Anywho, we'll continue this testimony next time. In the meantime, up here's a playlist of my Danganronpa Goodbye Despair playthrough, and down here is a video that YouTube recommends. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!